So let's talk about how the new Toyota Tacoma is better than the old Toyota Tacoma. You know, there's a lot of, it seems, negative talk out there for some reason about the fourth generation Toyota Tacoma. And if you're unfamiliar, that would be the 2024, 2025, and the upcoming 2026 model years. Of course, Toyota did a complete redesign, gave us a whole new Tacoma, complete with a turbo 4-cylinder engine. Another point of contention for some people out there. But we're not going to talk about any kind of negatives on here today. We're going to talk about the positives. Number one, the power. I don't care what the V6 guys say, this new 4th gen Tacoma is way more powerful than what we ever had in the third generation or previous generation Tacomas. This thing gets up and goes. And I'll tell you, you slap a pedal monster on it, and man, you've got what I believe is the fastest or quickest mid-size truck out there. It is freaking awesome. So kudos to Toyota for, I guess, taking the leap and going to a Turbo 4. Certainly they knew there would be backlash from all the diehards out there. Number two, the ride quality of this truck. You know, the difference between this and the previous generations is night and day. This thing is comfortable, it's smooth, it almost feels like a luxury truck when you're comparing it to the previous model years, the previous generations. It's just awesome. The comfort of the seats, another great improvement that Toyota made to this truck. You know, the seats in the 3rd gen, you probably are aware there are products out there called seat jackers or seat lifters or whatever. And the reason there's a market for those is because the previous generations always had such a horrible seat angle. You had to put some sort of a spacer underneath the seat brackets to be able to move that seat up a little bit so that it didn't feel like your legs were kind of unsupported or hanging over the front edge. Toyota took care of that in this new truck. I feel now like I could easily take a long distance trip and not have any back pain or under thigh pain or fatigue because of the horrid angle that we had before on these seats. Speaking of the seats, the new look, the cloth material, I don't have leather. I'm not a big fan of leather in any Tacoma or any truck, to be honest. It's very hot in the summer and very cold in the winter. And leather these days, or leatherette, whatever it is that they put in, just does not hold up well. I've had lots of trouble with leather. It kind of almost, it's like it chips up a little bit, right? You get these little chippy kind of areas where the material's kind of pulling up. If you scrape anything against it, it's just not good. Number 4, I guess, I've lost count. We're going to quit numbering, but it's the gauge cluster. Toyota was falling behind for sure when it came to the interior look of the functional features in the truck, like the gauge cluster. It looked very, very dated. Now we're up to date, we're modern looking, we can change that gauge cluster around to many different configurations. You can show all of the different things that you want to see. For instance, on mine, I've got the fuel economy, which by the way is running at 15.4 right now. We won't talk about that as a positive. I've got the tire pressure, RPMs, temperature outside, time, all kinds of different things in the gauge cluster now. I've got the look that I want. There are 3 or 4, I think, different aesthetic appearances, looks of that gauge cluster. I love the new setup. I think it's awesome and definitely an improvement over the previous generations. The radio screen. You know, Toyota tried. Right at the end of the 3rd generation, they tried, they came out with a bigger, better clarity, I guess, radio screen or infotainment screen than what we had before. And by the way, why do they call it infotainment? I mean, I know there are aftermarket plugins you can put on so you can watch movies and things in your truck, but from stock, it's not really entertaining. I mean, it shows you all of the different features. Of course, the cameras pop up there, which is a really nice feature in this truck with that bigger 14-plus-inch screen. But nonetheless, it's not really entertaining, is it? I don't know. But it is a hell of an improvement over what we had before. The clarity of it is awesome. The size of it is fantastic. Now you can look right away without taking your eyes off the road for long. You can just glance and you can see what you want to see. And that's because of the bigger screen. Next up, tire size options. You know, I don't know what percentage it is, but a huge percentage of Toyota Tacoma buyers, those of us that are into aftermarket mods and things, change out the wheels and tires. And we always want to go bigger, right? Bigger, more wheel poke, more tire poke, just a more aggressive look on the truck. You can do that with this generation without having to lift the truck, without having to make a ton of modifications. I'm talking about suspension modifications. I love that because anytime you change the suspension, it's at the cost of ride quality. I haven't done that on my truck. I'm running a little bit bigger tire with a hell of a lot more wheel poke, and I haven't had to do anything in the way of lifts. I like that. I still have that factory quality ride and the look, the more muscular, aggressive look that I want to have with the truck. So kudos again to Toyota for giving us something that we really want, right? Lastly, we've got to talk about interior headroom. That was a big complaint of many previous generation owners, particularly the third gens. You just didn't have that headroom. Now I've probably got, I don't know, 6-7 inches or something like that, and I've got the seat all the way up. I love that. It means that people who are vertically gifted, I suppose, or maybe just longer from the waist up, can actually fit in the Tacoma right now. I would say you could probably be as tall as maybe 6'2", 6'3", and still fit in a Toyota Tacoma. There's no way that you could do that comfortably before. No matter what some of the people out there will tell you, I'm here to tell you it just wouldn't work. So anyway, there are tons of other improvements that Toyota has made to this truck. I personally believe it's the best iteration model of the Tacoma that Toyota has come up with yet. It still seems to be very popular. I believe Toyota in the Tacoma is still the #1 mid-selling truck out there, which says something about what they've done with the truck. I think people actually do like it, even though you've got a, what I believe, vocal minority that will try to tell you otherwise. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think when you compare the new Toyota Tacoma to the previous generations. I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.